And we have chicken breast, rice, broccoli, and some seasoning and spices. Noel Deyzel has made quite the entrance on every single social media platform possible. As a creator, I wanted to know what his secrets were and how he was doing this stuff. When I went to his website, I noticed that he was selling nutrition plans, and at that very moment, I knew I had to make a video on it. So today, we will be buying a nutrition or eating plan from Noel Deyzel, the daddy himself, and we will go through it start to finish. I will tell you if it is worth it, if it will work, if it is sustainable, and I will go through each meal and give it a pass or a fail based on flavor, satiety, and variety. My name is Nick. I have my master's in exercise physiology, and I make anabolic recipes and do videos about anything in the fitness industry. So if you're into great tasting food and exercise, like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're ready to get jacked as f***, then let's get into it. I think it is extremely important that we start on Noel's eating plans page and go through it from literal start to finish. Now we have a calorie calculator here, and I know Greg hates on these equations, but like BMI, I think the average person is usually about a few hundred calories away when you plug their information in. Obviously, that's not everyone. There are outliers. I would say 5% of the population would fall far away from this. However, I do think it is a good tool, and it worked for me. It says I would need about 3,300 calories per day to sustain my weight, and I have my maintenance right around 3,000 to 3,100 calories. So for this reason, I do like this equation unless I have other information where I know, okay, this person's been eating 4,000 calories and they're not gaining any weight. You know what I'm saying? So far, so good, Noel. These diets have been calculated with 500 calorie increments. So if your maintenance is 3,000 calories and you are wanting to bulk, you should follow the 3,500 calorie eating plan. Same as if you want to cut. Drop 500 calories and run a deficit. So if your maintenance is 3,000 calories, select the 2,500 calorie option eating plan. Do I agree with this? Yes and no. I think a 500 calorie deficit is good for almost anybody. You won't be losing weight too quickly, which will keep your hunger hormone ghrelin at bay, and also you won't sacrifice muscle tissue, or at least much, if any at all, while you are losing weight. Also, this is more sustainable. However, I do think if you are 200 pounds, 220 pounds, it is okay for you to lose 2 pounds at a time, or about 1,000 calorie deficit per day. So I don't think 500 should be a strict rule. It really depends on what your goals, what your plan is, and how much time you want to lose the weight in, or how much time that you have if you have something like a vacation or a wedding or whatever coming up. On the same token, if you are 200 pounds and 8% body fat, I don't think you should be losing 2 pounds at a time. However, I don't think you are buying this nutrition plan if you are 200 pounds and 8% body fat. On the other hand, I think a 500 calorie surplus is too much in my opinion. I think at most you need 200 to 300 extra calories per day to grow a sufficient amount of muscle while also not gaining too much fat. If you think about it, if you're in a 500 calorie surplus every single day, you are gaining over 4 pounds a month. And it's not all fat, but most of it is fat, and that means you're gonna have to drop that much more weight when it's actually time to cut. All right, so the best selling plans are all of them. They have a eating plan that ranges from 2,000 to 4,000 calories, and it looks like the number one sold plan is the 3,000 calorie range plan. However, I am trying to get absolutely peeled. It is summertime. It says I'm supposed to be eating about 3,300 calories. So I would like to be at about the 2,500 calorie range. So that will be the option I purchase today. In that calorie range, that's about an 800 calorie deficit according to the calculator. That will have me losing about 1.5 pounds a week of mostly fat, which is a good amount, right in the middle of that 1 to 2 pounds. Off the bat, I do want to say I don't like using 500 calorie increments for the eating plans that I make for my clients. I think there should be a range because no one eats 2,500 calories per day. What if you told them 2,446 calories? Do you really think they're going to eat that exact amount every day? And if they do, how long can they sustain that for? I think there should be a good 400 to 500 calorie range that you are in every day, where you're hoping at the end of the week your average lies in the middle of that number. And if it does, you should be getting to your goal, whether that's gaining weight or losing weight. And would you look at that, we are getting an absolute bargain at $12.99 for this eating plan. But not only that, it is marked down to $9.99 and is currently on sale. So I'm definitely not complaining about the price. The price is more than fair. However, usually plans or things in this price range are, to put it very bluntly, shitty products. Now, that doesn't go for every single product. I'm sure there are some good $9.99 plans, whether that be a training plan or an eating plan. But overall, they're usually not very good. And why is that? Well, one, it is so cheap. And two, you can't write an eating plan or training plan for everyone. Everyone likes different things. I coach, so I know that I have multiple clients right now doing many different types of workouts. It is not the same for any person, even two people together. Very rarely do I write very, very similar training and eating plans for two people. And I mean, right off the bat, we have chicken and broccoli on the cover. So that is already making me say, uh-oh. Now we start out where Noel Deyzel gives a little bit about Deyzel Industries and says his goals, which is to get people ripped as fuck or get jacked as fuck. So let's transform our body, boost our confidence, and become an alpha. Note, I'm going to show some things and not show other things. I don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't want to show all of this guy's plan, even though it is cheap. It is his property. He made it. I'm only going to show so much so you get a good idea of the gist of it without knowing the exact grams and the exact macros of everything. But I'm trying to give a fair and unbiased review of this from my perspective. From the get-go, he says the importance of weighing your food, which I completely agree with. When you are cutting, I think it is essential, crucial, to make sure that you are weighing your food, especially if you've never weighed before. Whenever you look at the studies, you'll see that people underreport their calories, from what I remember, about from a few hundred calories up to 30%. Also, food scales only cost about $20 and they're super easy to use. So honestly, I absolutely love the first tip given by Noel here. He then says how important it is to prep all of your meals and have them already ready to go for the day. While I agree in a sense, I also don't agree fully. It makes it seem like he is more, every single meal is already in a container, you put it in the microwave, and then you eat it. For me, I have that for about 1, maybe 2 meals a day. I personally think it is better to have an idea of what you're gonna eat, know what your meals are going to be, and to have those things on hand, rather than to have every single meal prepped out and, you know, in 50 containers down to the gram for the week or whatever that may be. He then mentions how calorie riddled most of these condiments and sodas are and that you have to watch out for them. Again, I completely agree. Many people are eating ranch that has 140 calories per tablespoon, or they're having multiple glasses of orange juice at breakfast and they're not even realizing that the multiple glasses they're drinking is like 300 or 400 calories. Or like, oh, it's real orange juice, you know, not from concentrate. It must be good for me. It must help me lose weight. When in reality, they're kind of screwing themselves by having 1,000 calories with their food and drink just at breakfast. He also gives some examples of good low-calorie sauces, which I think is another great tip, and so far I'm liking pretty much all the information in the book. We move on to cheat meals, my specialty. 1 per week is the rule, and that's only if you've earned it, only if you've really pushed yourself. But to also make sure it's not a cheat day and is only a cheat meal, which that sentiment I 100,000% agree with. That's what it should be, because when I was younger, I used to diet at about 1,800 calories every single day. Then Sunday, I would eat whatever I wanted. And guess what happened? All of the progress I made throughout the week, training 5 to 6 times per week, was completely wiped out with the amount of calories that I ate from sunrise to sunset on my cheat day. So it took me a little while to realize this, learning as I go, like everyone else. And I started doing 1 cheat meal. And at this point, I plan it into my day. So this might not even be a cheat meal, because earlier in the day, I make sure I eat less calories, so I know if I'm going to have a higher calorie dinner that I have those calories available to me. So some people don't like calling it cheat meal for that reason, because it is actually planned and is in my caloric maintenance or caloric deficit, whatever you want to call it. But I do approve of cheat meals as long as you plan for it. And it doesn't have to be 1 per week. You can have 2, and both those days have a little bit less calories earlier in the day, and then have those extra calories later. Or if you do overeat, the next day eat a little bit less calories. It's really all a game of balance. He also recommends sticking to clean foods even when you're on a bulk. I don't like labeling foods clean and dirty. Why? Well, because you can have foods that are dirty in moderation as long as you're having fruits and vegetables that have a variety of micronutrients in them. That is okay, as well as healthy fats on the side too. It's not like everything is labeled bad or good, clean or dirty. Once you start labeling it like that and think things are off limits, once you end up crashing and do end up opening that pack of Oreos, it's never just 1 or 2. It's the whole damn pack. Not 1 row, all 3 rows. Unless you have the party size, and then it's like all 6 rows. He then goes through herbs and spices to season your food, which I think is another great reminder, because I see this plan for beginners. I don't see this being like an advanced lifter's eating plan. So he's trying to show you every little thing that you can do. And a lot of people don't realize how much just salt and pepper will flavor your food, let alone all this other stuff that he lists in the book. So I think that is awesome that he added it. For example, white pepper, I have that in my McChicken, fennel in my breakfast sausage, cumin in my crunch wrap, and my beefy 5-layer. Finally, we get into the actual meals for my 2,500 calorie diet. Our first meal has 2 options, which I already like having more than 1 option. That's exactly what I do for my clients and my plans. The first option is oatmeal, egg whites, bananas, and cinnamon if you're feeling a little spicy. Our second option is oatmeal, protein, banana, or cinnamon if you're feeling a little spicy, and optional low-calorie sweetener. Both meals check in right around 500 calories and about 30 grams of protein. Now, is there anything inherently wrong with these meals? No. Is it heading in the direction that I was hoping that this meal plan wouldn't head in? Yes. I will give this first meal a pass as it has 2 options and does have a little bit of variety in it. Now, let's move on to meal 2 and see if we can change the tide a little bit. And we have chicken breast, rice, broccoli, and some seasoning and spices. We are in full bodybuilder mode at this point, and can this taste good with seasonings and spices? Absolutely. Is this sustainable? I'm not ready to make a decision yet. However, I will tell you, for all of my plans that I write for my clients, you have at least 3 options per meal or snack, if not 4 or 5. I will have to give this meal a fail, and not because it doesn't fit the diet and it doesn't work or it's not healthy, but because I have had chicken, broccoli, and rice so goddamn much in my life that I don't want it anymore. I am hoping meal 3 is a nice step up from meal 2. Chicken breast, sweet potato, and a choice of different vegetables. From the videos I've seen lately from Noel, I am honestly shocked that these are the meal choices and plans that he's putting out. This is literally the plan when I was 18 years old, 10, 12 years ago, that I was told I needed to follow if I wanted to get shredded, which just is not the case in 2021 and expected different from Noel here. For me, I've got to give this meal another fail. It's the same thing. I don't want chicken every meal. I don't want chicken, especially 2 times in the same day. For meal 4, we are having a pre-workout meal. And what do you know? We are eating oats, protein, and a banana, which he says we can make into pancakes if we would like, which is great to have a little bit of variety rather than having oats for the second time today. I would say though, instead of a whey protein, I would use a whey casein blend because it won't make the pancakes like chewy and dry. It'll make them fluffy and soft. Code E4CM for 15% off your PE Science purchase, which has one of the best whey casein blends in the game. Regardless, I am glad he at least gives another option besides oats, which we've already eaten a few hours ago. For this reason, I will give this meal a pass. It at least has a little bit of variety, a little bit of differentiation in it, but I would use a whey casein blend for the pancakes instead of Rise. For his pre-workout, I really hope he is using Gorilla Mode, as this is the best pre-workout on the market, and I am super excited to announce first here on the channel that I am now working with Gorilla Mind. Now you can use code E4CM for 10% off your purchase, and they also have fat burners, sleep aids, and focus products that are all science-backed and formulated by the Delt God himself. More plates, more dates, or Derek. And look out for me doing reviews of these products in the near future. In all seriousness, I wanted to thank you guys for all the support on both the PE Science code and the Power 13 cookbook purchases. The love that has been shown has been unreal, and I never would have expected it. And I just feel so blessed that at this point I have been able to not only work with some of the best people in this industry, but some of the best brands in this industry as well that offer the highest quality products. Now on to our post-workout meal, which I hope to sweet baby Jesus that this is a protein ice cream. I don't care which one, any of them. Please, Noel, protein ice cream. But we're going to get the straight classic. Protein shake with some dextrose and a banana all mixed together. I am not a big fan of drinking your calories, so I would not advise this after your workout, basically for satiety purposes only. I personally think I will forever have a protein ice cream after each and every workout. There is so many flavors that you can make. You get 6 cups, and with the consistency that I've created in almost every single one of my recipes, it is literally like real ice cream. And for like 500 calories, you literally cannot beat it. So to me, my only recommendation after a workout is a protein ice cream. Now, obviously, if you don't want to eat it, I wouldn't have you do that, but that's just personally what I love the most and what I look forward to even mid-workout. Now, again, meal 5 is a fail because I don't want to drink my calories because I would be full for an hour and then I would want to eat again, whereas a protein ice cream will keep me full for multiple hours at a time. Let's get to meal 6 here. We have some lean beef or steak with some potato and some other veggies and seasonings and spices. I do want to mention that there's not instructions for any of these recipes. There's only the macros, the ingredients needed, and the amount in grams that are needed of each ingredient. Although I haven't eaten meal 6 before, not only is it variety from what we've eaten earlier in the day, it sounds delicious and looks delicious, so this definitely gets a pass from good old Nick. And we are on to meal 7, which, by the way, I think is way too many meals and is not necessary. And not only this meal only clocks in a little above 100 calories and is a bite or two of chicken and a rice cake with some other stuff on top of it. So it is a very small amount of food, and I don't like this type of meal because I feel like it's almost too little and would make me want to binge more. Now, I can do this at the start of the day, but at the end of the day, this is much harder. So to end the day with like 6 bites of food and just be like, oh, I'm done and go to bed, takes a lot of willpower. So I'm not a huge fan of this meal, and for that reason, I am going to have to give this meal a fail. Total calories for the day, just a touch under 2,500 with protein being over 200 grams, which is right on point. Before we get into the conclusion, I did want to mention he includes a shopping list here. So when you go to the store and you have this plan, you can get everything that you need so you can make all of your meals so it's in your house. So like I said earlier, you don't have to keep making trips to the grocery store throughout the week. So that is a big plus in my book. Speaking of which, should I take this back to 2010 and do a full day of eating from this plan? If you think so, please leave a like on this video and also comment below and let me know that you would like to see that. Overall, I think Noel is a great creator. He's spreading transparent and truthful information, and it's easy to digest, super short videos, and I am super glad that he is making it big because he is one of the guys advocating for the same things that most of us good guys in the industry are. For this reason, I looked to see if these plans were old because I would understand a lot more if he made these plans years ago and he hasn't changed them since then. But in his plans, he actually has his sponsor, which is Rise, in here. And he just started working with Rise about 5 months ago. So even if these plans were written up before that, he edited in a Rise ad into the plan, which, you know, he could have changed the actual eating plan while also putting in the Rise ad, but he chose not to. This gives me the impression that he did write these up pretty recently because when he partnered up with Rise, he did a giveaway where he gave away both Rise products and his eating plan. So I think they were kind of made together to give both products away at the same time. Not to mention, the actual plan itself is super high quality, just like all of his videos. Will this eating plan work? Yes, of course. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, that is all that matters. But would I recommend that you buy this eating plan if you are looking to get jacked as fuck? No. Why, you might ask? I think there is about 0.01% of the world's population that would be able to stick with this long term. And what do I mean by long term? I would say years, if not decades. You're going to eventually end your diet. And when your diet ends, what are you going to do? Again, I think this product was aimed at newbies. So for that reason, on top of it, if you watched 1 or 2 of Noel's videos and you were just getting into fitness or you're just getting back into it, you didn't know too much, you didn't go to school, you haven't been doing this for years, you are going to believe everything he says. He already has established himself as a truthful, open, and transparent guy. So if you buy this plan and you don't know much, you're going to try and follow this plan to a T because you think everything he says is gospel and you should follow it. Now, most of it again, is very good information and you should follow. But as far as this plan goes, once they get to their goal, say they do get to their goal, they do it for 12 weeks, they do it for 16 weeks, they get to their goal weight, what are those beginners supposed to do from there? That is where I have an issue with the plan. Learning about flexible dieting or the circle diet through experience and people like Flexible Dieting Lifestyle and Greg has really completely changed my perspective on nutrition and dieting. I think eating from a book like the Power 13 cookbook with recipes such as pizza bread, buffalo ranch chicken sandwiches, and white chocolate Reese's protein ice cream is much more sustainable than eating a diet full of chicken, broccoli, rice, and oatmeal every single day. Now, is it worth the money? Well, $10 isn't expensive, but your time is. Have you ever heard the term time is money? The time you spend eating chicken, broccoli, and rice and yo-yo dieting up and down until you find the sustainable diet for you is my issue. How do I know this? Well, I spent years doing it myself. My weight would fluctuate 20 to 30 pounds each year, and that is the reason that I have stretch marks all over my body. And not only that, even though I am pretty lean, I have loose skin from gaining and losing weight. And not only that, we have nice stretch marks down there as well. What my goal is and what I am trying to do, as well as many others are in this industry, is show you a diet that is sustainable, which in my opinion is the circle diet or the anabolic diet, where nothing is off limits. You can have everything in moderation. Everything is about balance. But if it's not the circle diet, just find what works for you. There doesn't have to be a certain diet, low carb, keto, carbs only at night, carbs only in the morning. Find what works for you. For some people, those type of diets will work. For other people, it won't. It is important that you don't listen to any one person and experiment for yourself. In the more recent months, Noel has definitely posted more circle diet type of recipes, such as a spinach and egg wrap and a mug cake. So hopefully Noel is coming around on the idea of bringing all the foods inside of the circle, and we will see more of that from him in the future, as well as maybe changing a couple of the recipes in the cookbook itself. If you want me to try Noel Deyzel's meal plan for a full day of eating video, please let me know in the comment section below. There's a pizza pot pie coming extremely soon. I am about 98% done. And there's an anabolic ice cream that is going to feature a very, very special guest in the very near future as well. But until next time, I will see you in that next one. Deuces.